it is in all its glory. You want me to take a picture of you in front of it? This is a rig I made for it because it's so long. It was bouncing back and forth. You know, it was bouncing too much. All I had on it was the windshield and the seat. So I added this. It added about 7 or 8 feet to it. You can get an idea of it there. So that's an idea of what it looks like. So I'm gonna take it off now and try to hoist it up. I'm sure it'll pick it up. I think it will, but we'll see. I hope I don't crash it in the meantime. This is attempt 2 with a newer battery. I bet Sergeant Draper has this figured out already, but what's happening is that it's fighting its own thrust as it hits the flag and trying to lift the weight of it at the same time. So it's 2 obstacles to lifting at once. But it came close. What I'm going to do is add about a 12-foot string on it, and that way the downwash from the drone will not hit the flag or hit it at a lesser degree of velocity. Here's something interesting. The drone is on a GPS lock. It's just sitting there and it's acting like a giant flagpole 300 feet in the sky. Now it started to move and you can see the flag stretched out behind it. You can see the smoke at the top. And it's taken a lot of control inputs from me and the flag, and having to correct for the wind and the inputs from the flag. It's just amazing to me how they can do that. Do you ever do things that you wish you had not done? I think my whole life has been like that, but you can see I added the longer string here. Let's see what happens. This is painful for me to watch. I mean, it destroyed this drone. These are 5-foot letters, 5 feet tall, meant to be flown by aircraft. So that gives you an idea of the power of this little drone. But they do have their limits. We'll get to the big flag in a second, but this was early one morning, not long after I started towing the flag. I'm running down the highway here, and that white car caught my eye, and I'm going away from me right now, but I'm going backwards, and you'll see what happens here in a second. Just a second. I almost hit that wire because the controls are opposite, and there we go. It stayed there all night with its lights on. I'm sure people reported it as a UFO, and oh man. As you can see, it's hanging from what are they here, about 5,000 bolts. And so it goes, a day in the life of a drone pilot with no depth perception. Oh man, so this is my, ow! So this is my street right here. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, I had the whole crew here this morning. About 3 trucks. Oh shit. That was something. Man, they showed up about 20 minutes after I got there. This is not an Antifa flag. Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. Friday, November 20th. Weather's not ideal. I got a crosswind from the east, pretty bad. It's rough. but I should be up around, I've already done a test flight, and around 300 or 400 feet, it smooths out. Say what?
I said that camera over there, you're going to wind up knocking it over. I got a feeling.
Yeah, but as long as I get the takeoff, that's all I care about. All right, so that's that. That was Mr. Cody. He keeps me straight. He always asks me, you need help? You need help? I said, look, when you're 71, if you make it that far, that is, and you're doing half the crap I am, you'll be in good shape. This was October of 2020. I'm going back to the back. I'm curling that yellow line out away from the prop to where when I add power, it won't be grabbed by the prop. And got my cameras rigged up this time, unlike last time. And I got quite a few angles, so hang in there. This is interesting. So everything's looking good. Get in the cockpit. I think that's obvious, but I thought I'd say something. Now right here I'm doing some serious thinking. But I know what it's gonna do. If it can't carry the load, the ultralight will just drop. It won't fall like and slam into the ground. This is my good friend on the right. His name is Tom. Listen to what he says.
I don't think he's going to get this off the ground.
Yeah, okay.
We'll find out.
Randy says, we'll find out. There we go. Turbocharger kicks in. Here we go. We had 50 extra feet of rope. I'm climbing like hell. All I can do. Whammo. There we go. Look at that sucker. All right. It's climbing out. I had about 300 or 400 feet in the aircraft at the end of the runway. Here it is at full speed. I adjusted that mirror, but it was worthless. I need to mount it someplace else. I'm looking for people here, seeing if anybody's walking out onto the runway. I don't want to hurt nobody doing this stuff, but Cody's holding, and I'm getting ready. I got the bar pushed out for climbing. It's the opposite of an airplane. On an airplane, you pull back, of course. On this thing, you push forward. It takes a while to get used to it. But the tow rope, you see the curl, that's from the spin of the prop. But this is full speed. And you get that's Randy holding. It's actually another edit. That's Randy, my friend Randy and Tom. Watch the drop. There you go. That's when the ultralight takes the weight and drag of the flag. Now Cody, he didn't like that line coming toward him. I told him if that line comes toward you, drop it. Don't worry about that flag. It'll work out. I do that so it'll catch wind and not drag over itself. All right, watch that rope coming toward him now. There you go. If that had wrapped around his arm, it would have pulled his arm off. Yeah, that came out okay. I was concerned about that, but it popped right out. It's a nylon taffeta material, and it has its well, here we go again. Once you drop it, the ultralight takes the weight and drag. Yeah, see how it falls out of the sky? It doesn't stall, it just falls. It dropped about, I don't know, 50 feet maybe. The rope is connected, goes through a bearing at the back of the ultralight, and it keeps the rope from spinning up and spinning itself into the prop. It stays stationary, in other words. Yeah. This drop, I was proud of this drop. Watch this drop. It landed about 50 feet away from where I took it up. When you drop it, you get quite a bit of thrust forward. See, look at there. Ain't that nice? Man, I love that, man. Question for Sergeant Draper up in freezing cold Arkansas, or anybody else who wants to reply. When I flew this thing turning to the left, it really wanted to pull me out of the sky, and I had to add a lot of opposite control bar. And I can't figure it out. I'd flown with that other flag, 10x16, with Hillary for jail, and you know, it felt like that, but this one really wanted to pull me out of the air. I know it's connected to the back of the ultralight, and it should be at the center of gravity, so I know that had something to do with it, but man, this was, and being rough didn't help anything either. What do you think? Torque, the way the flag is flying, the weight, but the turn to the right was good. I mean, no problem at all. Here the flag is going into the tree. I misjudged the wind big time, but it didn't hurt nothing. We got it out of there. I should say my neighbor Cody got it out of there, but this gives you another idea of the size. This is like a building, a 3-story building coming down out of the sky. Watch this. This is closer. I'm zooming in here. I mean, that thing is 30 feet tall. That little ultralight did it. I kind of thought it would, but this thing was so big it was intimidating to me. But we got 200 feet of line on it now, and that helped a lot in altitude and speed. You'll see it drape itself over the tree here, right there. There it comes. Here's my foot. I'm going to hit the release and do it one more time for you. There it goes again. I mean, this thing... But we had a lot going for us in temperature, had a lot less fuel, and a lot of help, and just things worked a lot better. That's Ockalochnee Bay, where I lived for quite a while. Yeah, old Cody, he's a great guy. He's up in that tree right now trying to get that flag out. But he treats me like an invalid. You know, I'm in good shape for 72. One of the first few rules of flying a drone is don't fly it around power lines, obstacles, trees, so you can see what we had to work with here. Sorry I was dragging a flag, but I had my hands full. I got a battery alert. You know, it'll warn you the battery's getting low, and towing that flag, it only lasts about 8, maybe 10 minutes max. So you got to get down quick, because if the drone runs out of battery juice, it drops. It's going to the ground. I had a great opening scene. It was a pullback from the flag and going up. I looked for a day. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like it. The sun's shining on it too. Yes, sir. Right? That was a young girl from the subdivision. She was real nice. She always commented on the flag and how much she appreciated me putting it up. Cody did a great job here getting it coming up. I didn't even think about a shot like that, but it really looked good. That was the actual end of the video, but I'm just tagging this on here. I thought it was kind of a neat shot. One of the first things they tell you when you buy a drone is don't fly it around trees, power lines, Wi-Fi outlets, you know, that kind of thing. So you can see I'm adhering strictly to the rules here. I'm missing these trees by about 12 inches. One thing about North Florida, man, it ain't nothing but trees. Bugs, I thought Louisiana was buggy. Oh man, Louisiana's bug free compared to this place in the summer. But we're going up to the highway. The flag is about 150 feet off the highway, so I got a lot of attention, a lot of horn honks, a lot of waves, and one F Trump. There it is in all its glory.